What's going on? We back, Goodfellas Sports TV, doubling up real quick. Be on the lookout for the final thoughts for Jacobs and Derevchenko. Also predictions and final thoughts for Regis Prograis and Terry Flanagan. And God willing, I get to Puev and Hifi today. But some news coming in, breaking news. Jaime Munguia is expected to sign with ESPN Top Rank. He has one more fight on his Golden Boy contract. It probably will be broadcast on the Zone. And he's going over the Top Rank at this one fight, I guess, on the Zone. According to ESPN's Dan Rayfield, you can take it for how you want it. So I guess they've been shopping him around. And he don't want to be with Golden Boy no more. He probably don't want to fight on no damn app. You know what I'm saying? Going to ESPN, he going to get a ton of exposure. That's huge. He probably figured that they'll never, put him in with Canelo. And that was the next best thing that Golden Boy could have had. He never was a Golden Boy fighter. Golden Boy got options. And let me explain how it works. Top Rank and Golden Boy love to do options on fighters. Okay? Especially if they defeat their fighter. So let's say, for instance, what was the fight? Oh, Isaac Dogboe. When Isaac Dogboe beat Jesse McAdone, hopefully I always butcher that man's name. I like him, but when he beat him, if he would have lost to him, Top Rank probably would have had no options on him. But since he beat Jesse, the house fighter, they had options on him. So they when he signed the contract, Top Rank said, "Okay, we can control your next 3 or 4 fights. We got to co-promote with your promoter in order for you to get this deal." So he signs the contract. Eventually, he fights 3 or 4 times, and eventually, they give him a big deal. See, that's one of the reasons why Top Rank doesn't like working with bigger promoters, because they know even with the PBC fighters that are promotional free agents, or some of the fighters like, let's say, Deontay Wilder that's promoted by Lou DiBella or whatever, they know that those fighters have so much of a major contract that, they're not going for that. Okay? They're not going to allow, a Deontay Wilder, Deontay Wilder, a Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Omar Figueroa, Gary Russell. They're not gonna get options on them. You see what I'm saying? So it's either they go over there and whoop on your fighter, or your fighter win. But if they whoop on your fighter, you're not gonna see that belt for a while. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about options. It allows you to control the fighter that took the belt or got a belt that you deemed that your fighter had, and it allows you to control the board still. So, but when them options fade out, and they don't sign them to a deal, then, it is what it is. So, obviously, either Golden Boy didn't have enough money, Jaime Munguia didn't want to fight on the app, or he just didn't like being over in Golden Boy and felt like they wasn't promoting him the right way. I think it was a combination of a lot of things, and I think it was mostly fighting on the app and limiting his exposure to the casual crowd. And with Canelo, he could fight on the app because he already has a good following. So, him going over there to ESPN, does it take it one step further or closer to a Jared Hurd or Jamil Charlo unification bout? I think not. I think it's about the same. If it sounds like Al Heyman is boxing out ESPN, Golden Boy, The Zone, Top Rank. He's boxing all those guys out because all those guys try to sue him, taking shots at him. He don't say nothing. He be quiet and he handle business. They playing checkers. He's playing chess. And they mad because they can't talk to him. They want to blame him. But ultimately, the PBC model was built off the strength of Mayweather on using like Golden Boy as a fight-by-fight based promoter and not being tied into a long-term contract where the fighter controls his own career. You dictate your own career. You pick your fights, and it has its positives and its negatives. And we see some of the negatives where when PBC fighters maximize dollar potential but don't take risks. And it needs to be some type of balance, some type of approval from Showtime, Fox, or PBC, or some type of, how can I say it? Some type of, I don't know, some type of board that, or I don't know how to put it, but somebody that kind of, make sure these guys kind of fight tougher fights and give the fans and the network, the exposure that it needs to good fights. So, but Jaime Munguia, will they try to rob him of his belt in the Zone? Possible. Will they try to put him in a lose-lose situation? Possible. But, I think Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum still have some type of infatuation. Bob was like a father to Oscar, so I don't think he'll be that mad with Jaime Munguia going over to Top Rank enough to try to rob Jaime Munguia as he would have been as mad if Jaime Munguia would have went over to Showtime. Okay, that he would have been very, very irate about that situation, very, very mad about it. But it just tells you that Top Rank ESPN sees the potential in Jaime Munguia, offered him the bag. You rather fight on the zone or fight on the app, or you fight on ESPN Top Rank. I don't know if Showtime even made a run at him, but obviously what a lot of people are insinuating is a lot of fighters don't want to go to the zone because like a Jaime Munguia, want to go on Showtime, like a Jaime Munguia or Canelo Alvarez or Triple G because of the competition. Because if Jaime Munguia goes to Showtime, have a tune-up fight, they're going to immediately want to see him fight Jared Hurd, Jermell Charlo. Obviously, we all know that he's not physically ready for neither one of them. I think in due time, in about a year or two, he'd be ready to beat Jared Hurd or Jermell Charlo. He'd be ready, but he's still young. He go to ESPN where he don't have to fight nobody. He ain't in a rush to do nothing. They don't have any fighters over there for him, so he could run a checkup on ESPN and Top Rank, and make high reward, low risk. So a lot of these dudes are showing people that they don't want the competition. They just want the bread. And he's in a developmental stage. Even though he's a champion, I can accept that, But it ain't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen on either side of the deal unless he went to Showtime. It wasn't going to happen with Jared Hurd and Jermell Charlo. So I never envisioned that happening. I never envisioned there'd be an undisputed champion at 154 because I knew the politics and stuff of that. But Jaime Munguia, get your bag, get your money. I was one of the first dudes on here telling you guys how good he was and the potential he had. He was going to stop Saddam Ali. And, I look forward to watching him fight on ESPN Top Rank. Okay. But boxing is a dirty game. It's a dirty business. And I kind of schooled you guys a little bit. Hopefully I articulated it good enough on, why networks don't want to work together, because Top Rank want options. They don't want to lose belts. Belts are leverage. Belts are leverage. They don't want to lose belts. They already have minimum belts and a minimum roster of talent. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to lose belts. So, they lose a belt. He run over there to Showtime, or you run over to the zone, then they got the upper hand on you. And then you got to go over there and negotiate with them, take less. Hopefully one of your fighters go back over there and get the belt and get a fair decision. A lot of these businessmen in boxing don't want to take risks. And, Al Hammond can take all the risks in the world he wants because he has so much of a large roster of fighters, but when guys continue to take shots at you, continue to try to sue you, tear you down, and all you're doing is building something great, he don't need them. He got enough relationships to make things happen. He done had, Lomachenko come on the Showtime. He done had Carol Brook come on the Showtime. And both of them got a decision and left with belts. But you think they'll let some of his fighters go over to ESPN or to the zone and leave with belts? No. Hell no. But nobody talk about that. He let Felix Diaz and he let John Molina go over to ESPN and fight Terrence Crawford. He did. You know what I'm saying? But all that goes one under the bridge. When does Bob Arum willingly let one of his fighters go over there? Only time he lets fighters go over there, like Lomachenko and Bob Monterosi and Lara, won when he couldn't win the purse bid. The proof's in the pudding. Al Haymon is willing to put the money up for his fighters. Al Haymon does more for his fighters outside the ring than anybody else in boxing, any manager, any promoter, any network president, or anything. Okay? Stuff behind the scenes that I'm not even going to say that he does for fighters is just fucking unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know if they made an offer at Jaime Munguia. Hopefully some more things come out about that, but I'm happy for him going to ESPN Top Rank. He can develop over there. Won't be no rush to fight the best. And when he develops, the kid going to be a serious threat, a serious problem. But kind of insight on why networks don't kind of want to work with each other. They don't want to lose leverage. You see PBC got all the leverage in the world, and they still don't take the chances necessary. They do, but remember, PBC model is the fighter controls his own career. The fighter is his own individual boss. And with anything like that or anything in the world, it's always a positive. It's always a negative. It's a yin and a yang type of thing. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. I'll link an article link in the description letting you know that this rumor is trill. Shout out to everybody holding us down one time for the one time we grinding. Don't forget, we on Facebook and email. You can DM me on Facebook, video requests or questions. You can email me directly. Emails in the description. The Boxing Clinic 313@gmail.com. You got video requests, you got a question or whatever it is, and we're gonna continue to do good things and do good videos and change up the subject matter. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Retro Hoop series. I hope to continue that Hood series. Hope to continue that. If you want to make a donation, please do. I appreciate that. If not, no big deal. Just share the videos across YouTube. We're trying to grow. I definitely appreciate everybody. Shout out to Gary Benson for the donation as well, brother. I see you.